Invite you to be seated. Invite you to close your eyes. We have just heard this passion narrative read. Listen to it, and I invite you, as you close your eyes, to reflect back on what you heard. What do you notice? What rises up in you in the story? What do you feel? What questions come to mind? If you were there, as you were there, what do you imagine God felt? As you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes and to come back to our time space together. We'll do some sharing out if you're comfortable with that. You don't have to, of course. But does anybody want to share what they heard or felt or observed in that moment or in the reflection of the passion narrative? Sadness. Mm-hmm. Sure. Betrayal. Lots of drama. Mm-hmm. Anger.
Crowd mob mentality just going on.
The crowd mob mentality, everyone just going along.
Mood swings, really high expectations, and then really low.
Mood swings, high expectations, and then really, really low. Compassion. Shame. The humility of Jesus. Fear. How misunderstood Jesus was, if not is. Pain. For what? Anxiety. Thank you. Lots of violence. Yeah. Yeah, how violence is portrayed in the variety of ways. Sure, thank you. What we hear, what we are invited into this week is this theodrama. It's God's drama played out. And we kind of, in this moment, we're like an audience watching it unfold, right? Overhearing it as if we're in a theater setting, watching this stage performance and listening to it and imagining it in the long duration of it unfolding before us. A story that we see and observe that is before us and for us. The theodrama. I invite you this week to return to this story in a variety of ways. Chapter 26 and 27 of Matthew. to sit with it, to hold it, to wonder not just how and what God feels, but how this is real for us today. And what this speaks about a God who is willing to come and to be present in our world. We started in the narthex thinking about the Palm Sunday, Jesus coming in on a donkey, coming into town not with the power that a king would come, but with the humility of a servant. It was almost a nonviolent protest against power. And maybe the challenge of God, is this how God shows up? As a weakness? What kind of God is this? Really? Our God's more powerful than that. Our God's going to get him. And maybe in our expectation, like so many others, when God doesn't show up like that, we just miss God. When in fact, God's audience are those who actually are more in solidarity with what it is to experience God forsakenness, and those who are alienated and isolated and pushed out of the world. And that experience that Jesus actually displays as God's presence in the world is precisely to convince and persuade those for whom the world has pushed out. I wonder. So I invite you this week to return to this text, to sit with it, be in silence for a minute or two, maybe 3.5 minutes or 4, and just be quiet, and then go on in the morning, in the evening, however that might play out.